My name is John Paul Hodge, and this is the Blessing Song. Creator, I feel you hear with us in the wind blowing over us, in the water flowing under us, in the starlight reflecting off of us, in my voice to carry over us, who in our blood it is pure indigenous. Creator, give us power to endeavor. Mother, great-grandmother, will you walk along with us down this road so dark and treacherous, through this wasteland so plagued and poisonous? Ooh, we're all one consciousness. I'm gonna play a song right now about the Carlisle schools. And in the days when there was an Indian removal problem in this country, they thought they should send the children to a school and teach them to not be Indian anymore. And it was something that was suffered all along this continent and is still suffered today. So I dedicate this to all the grandparents out there who survived for us. It's called the Carlisle Train. Mother calls out to her children by name, touching the glass of the rail car pane. She motions toward them in medicine song, while the sons and the daughter are miming along, clutching their packs with a violent embrace, gripping their feet with their fingers and legs. The agency promises rations and shoes if the children are sent to the Carlisle school. They'll teach them survival and skills of a trade. Just send them away on the Carlisle train. The whistle was blown and they pulled down the line, leaving the fathers and mothers behind. Station to station, collecting the young and taking the talisman as they get on. Spectacled preacher is taking the roads. His breath is like liquor, his hands are like stone. They'll teach them submittal and skills of a slave. Just send them away on the Carlisle train. daughter, now mother, at age of 11, must care for her brothers of 13 and 7. They're left in the guidance of 3 Christian women, with promises Jesus is there to protect them. 2 of the women are gentle as sin, soothing the scared with the humming of hymn. The other superior matron and mom is hurting the children by pinching their arm. They'll teach them obedience, discipline, and faith. Just send them away on the Carlisle Train. Wheel a wailing mother began to give chase, stumbling and failing to keep up the pace. Some panicking children stampeded the floor, while the sister and brothers escaped through the door. With the youngest between them, they leapt from the stair, but the preacher grabbed hold of the girl by the hair. Caught by surprise, the girl tightened her grip. Caught in mid-air, the 2 brothers' grip slipped. The oldest fell safely away from the rail, while the youngest wept violently under the wheel. Terror grabbed hold and the brakes were applied. The brakeman broke down as the little girl cried. Then the agency men galloped up to the scene, while the mother let out with a horrified scream. Children on board were all frozen and fried, silently trembling in shock of the sight. Brother and sister were given the blame and carried away on the Carlisle Train. Is carried away on the Carlisle Train. And carried away on the Carlisle Train. It's just send them away on the Carlisle Train. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Paul Hodge, and this is the Salmon Song. axe and we hit it on. Got to the river, the water was gone. Gathered a group and we hit it upstream. Day and the night till we reached the ravines. Came to a camp, there were horses and cattle. Hundreds of people digging the dirt, exploding the rocks, building a dam of the water. Now the children, they won't have enough to eat. Let the salmon come along, just swimming up the stream. Come along, just swimming up the stream. For the elders, send for the bands. Start up the stew and prepare for a dance. Pinch your tobacco and braid up your hair. Fire up the stones and offer your prayer. Call up your mama, your cousins, your friends. Call to the east, to the south, to the west. Come to the north, we will meet at the river. We're going to fight for the water. Take your body and throw it out to sea. Let the salmon swim along and bring it back to me. Swim along and bring it back to me. Take your body and throw it out to sea. Let the salmon swim along and bring it back to me. Swim along and bring it back to me. Come along, just swimming up the stream. Come along, just swimming up the stream.
My name is John Hodge, and let me start again. My name is John Paul Hodge. That's my stage name. You can call me JP. You can call me John. You can call me Johnny. You can call me FedEx. You can call me punk ass mofo if you want to, but just treat me nice.
How long have you been playing music?
I, like a lot of people, I started playing music in elementary school, you know. My school allowed us in right around 3rd, 4th grade. I started off playing a flute, in fact, for the concert band. And the peer pressure was just unbearable in 4th grade. And so I stopped immediately and started playing saxophone. I played that for a year. And then my band teacher recognized my immaculate rhythm. And then he moved me to a drum set, in which or not drum set, you know, concert band, percussion, and snare drum for the most part. And I played that through high school. And I went to such a small school that we only had 13 kids in our high school band. And me and one other percussionist took care of everything. And we did fine, but I never learned really to do all the things I needed to do to take it to a college level. You know, there's an auditioning process for percussion that involves snare drum, timpani, like kettle drums, and then to play a xylophone. And I had played a timpani before, and I played snare drum all the time, but I never played a xylophone. I didn't have that education. It's like reading piano. the same thing, and I failed miserably at that, and I couldn't take myself to another level in college to learn to be a better musician. So I grabbed a guitar like a lot of dudes and ladies, and started screaming and playing metal, and now here I am playing some country folk music today.
For the community that haven't watched the show, how would you describe your show, your sound, the entertainment that is John?
I'm afraid to say there's very little entertainment value from my experience. After spending so long in metal bands at max volume, it doesn't feel like much of a comparison. Just one person with an acoustic guitar and a tambourine on their foot, singing loud. But my wife just so happens to love singer-songwriters. In fact, that's what she respects the most. And so she gives me the support I need to get up and just sing. And so in turn, I just sing as loud as I possibly can. And hopefully everybody likes that. I don't know that I'm the greatest singer, but I'm probably the loudest. And that means something to me.
Take us through that writing process. Is there like a certain mindset you need to be to start writing?
No, I don't. I don't think so. Or maybe I should separate it, because writing is one thing. Writing is when you sit down with the tools that you need to really create and try different things. For me, I start with just inspiration, a melody, a phrase, even a topic. Sometimes, I can repeat a topic and then kind of fall into better ideas. But then you need to sit down and break it into the arrangement and where you want to put it. I capo a lot, so I can move it up and down to where I feel that I need it. I'm not real handy with digital recording, the digital MIDI recording process. I know a lot of people do that. They'll build loops, and I'm not against it. I love digital music, but for me, it's kind of like just an inspiration process where in my mind, I'll put together at least like a verse worth of phrases or the chorus, and then work from there. So if I know what I want, like the inspiration will be something that's deep or a hook that's awesome, and that's kind of what every song needs, just a hook or a specific thing to work with, and everything behind that is just filling in behind it. The rhythm part is pretty easy. It comes easily to me. Maybe because of all the years I spent drumming, like it's the first thing I really hear when I'm playing. The working with the guitar, the chording, and the writing, I'm not all that fluent with any longer. I don't read music anymore like I used to. But I take a very basic approach to it. I power chord a lot, or I capo and I open chord, and I'll slide it up and down to where it works best from my voice. And then it's just kind of making sure that I can get it to be, 3 minutes or something. some what do you call it? Business-worthy art, like that. When I first started, that was kind of the thing. Well, songs got to be about 3 minutes if you wanted to get any play time, and I kind of stuck with that. I have a bit of a Wu-Tang thing about it, where I just kind of need a repetitive thing going on to sing over the top of, loop it through and not make too many changes. But when I first started coming out as a singer-songwriter, there were a lot of kind of snooty singer-songwriters out there who were like, oh, well, it's so simple, and how come it doesn't have multiple key changes, and it doesn't have 2 bridges and an intro and outro, and that's just a personal creative opinion that everybody has. I personally don't find it to be all that necessary to be, an excessive songwriter, but maybe it's because I'm more of a simple, grounded person. Like, it doesn't mean that it's a better song to me typically, because when we did metal songs, we're trying to get 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and now when it's just me up there, I think because I'm so bored with myself that I'm like, we need to finish this bad boy and move on to the next one, So let's keep it around 3 minutes, and that's a verse, chorus, verse, chorus, 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 bridge, chorus, verse, chorus, chorus. That's it.
Nice. And so, out of those songs that have gone through that process, is there one that specifically stands out?
For me personally, there's one that's been making me pretty happy lately, and it has everything to do with my fan base, and that I mean, whoever they are, even if it's a first time person, like you know, if someone has emotionally, someone's been moved by what I just did, that moves me, and it gives value to that song to me, because that's the only reason I do any of it. Otherwise, I'd be strumming a guitar on my porch, you know, alone with my family. I wouldn't need to try this, but I kind of am playing to a dual community where I do many indigenous events, and the topics tend to be very specific, you know, and the song, the Salmon Song, I have the salmon like the fish. It's a somewhat popular song because it incorporates my love for nature and my need for, or my desire for nature conservation, and it has an element of indigenous history on it, and empowerment, and it's also a bit of an uplifting kind of feeling thing, a feeling song, so I can get an important some important subject matter across, because I think it gets across more because it's a lighthearted feeling song. You know, I like that about country music too, not necessarily the subject matter. In fact, I prefer quite the opposite of what like pop country subject matter is. It's just generally drinking and going to the bar for the first time in your life, you know. But I like to write songs that are sad and move people, you know, and sometimes if you can find a nice rhythm that makes everybody happy and dance along, and then stick some things in there that are deep or important, that to me is succeeding.
Music for a lot of people is kind of that escape or a way to express it, or maybe they can't really say it, you know, blatantly, right? It's a way to get out that feeling and all that stuff. And honestly, people can pick it up as well, and, you know, may not feel isolated as much. It's like hearing someone else going through similar stuff, like, oh, that's not just me, right? And that can help someone get out of a hole and all that stuff.
Certainly, there's always people that feel that way, feel the same way as you. There's so many people, you know, we all think we're swimming in our own little pool, but I am like 100,000 other people out there have the same similar taste as me, and you and everybody else. Best luck to everybody who's trying to do art. You know, art is it means something different to everybody. For me, it is one of the last bastions of free speech. Comedy and music to me are the last places where we can actually say words that may grind people the wrong way or go against, you know, it's the last part of free speech to me. And so I have a little bit of like a Bob Marley, John Lennon thing, where I expect artists to be the ones who have shit to say, have things to say, you know, of use. And so that's my angle. I'm not personally stoked on people who are just, you know, I heard this recently. I think it was a Quincy Jones quote, and Quincy passed, right? And it was that pop music, you sing about, you sing what they want to hear. And then art, you sing what they need to hear. And I take that right to heart, because that's what I think that's what makes me feel useful in my life. I'm just gonna be another singer-songwriter who lives a life like hundreds of other thousands of people in the world, you know. And it's very likely no one will ever remember, but that I spent my time doing something that I thought to be useful is important, you know. It's important that I be a good influence to my friends and the people that I love, you know. Not that I know anything, but positivity and intelligence goes a long way, you know. There's not enough of that going on right now. There's a lot of lot of hatefulness, a lot of competition, a lot of negativity, and we need positivity in music more now than ever. But not to sell beer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beer sells itself. You don't need music for that.
Take your body and throw it out to sea. Let the salmon swim along and bring it back to me.